you know the name, you know the face. It's your favorite, Brie Larson. Look at that. Yeah. She's going to Epic Universe. Oh, isn't this fantastic? Oh,
is she standing
I know.
behind that? Is she standing behind that 12-year-old boy?
Now that's not nice. You know what?
It was a comment on her hair.
I'll just put this in.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
That's just terrible.
When did that end in this channel?
Oh my gosh.
That's plastic.
Well, you know, I had to get some clips, at least for this segment right here. Now, to Brie Larson's credit, okay, she is, I would say, genuinely a theme park fan. I actually questioned this back in the day because I remember reports when she actually went to Galaxy's Edge, even before it opened, as you can see in this photo right here. And I was like, this was around the time that Captain Marvel was actually coming out into theaters, if you remember this time period. And it was like, are they going to try to incorporate her into the Star Wars universe via these, you know, films coming out from Lucasfilm? Fortunately, that never happened. I say fortunate because, look, Brie Larson is probably privately a very nice person, but I don't know if I necessarily resonate with her acting ability right there. I have no comment on her personally, so no personal attacks there.
I'm sorry. What exactly makes you think that she's a nice person? What proof have you of that?
Yes, she's made some comments. Now she doesn't make quite as many recently, so maybe that's changed, Marvin. People change, but apparently her theme park lab hasn't.
Somebody tried to ask her about toxic fandom recently, and her publicist like jumped in front, like Mr. Piccolo in front of Gohan, to be like, no.
That's hilarious.
I did hear that when they heard that she was going to Orlando, the Disney Josh D'Amaro wanted to know where she was going.
Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Use.
That's perfect.
Use that clip right there.
Wow.
Well, she was there for the opening of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge as well. And you can kind of see her kind of in and amongst the fans, which I thought was very, very interesting. And again, I was like, is she really a theme park fan? I'm not sure. She was the one that hosted Candlelight Processional in 2023. That was actually my first Candlelight that I had ever attended. So there you go.
I remember that.
Yes, Brie Larson and I, we go way, way back. But there you go. She was actually there. Look at her with her little Mario visor right there. Now, she's in an elevator, so that's interesting. I never really thought about that before, but backstage access,
She does.
Maybe.
She looks more like a 12-year-old boy there.
Is that backstage access, or is that just the elevator for the handicap access that she just happens to be in? I don't know how this works for Mario Kart.
That looks like the one for the handicap access, because it's like, because you have to go down a lot of stairs to get down.
Yeah, a lot of stairs. Yeah, a lot of stairs. Well, hey, if she's attending it just like anybody else, I think that's very, very good. As we saw her with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, she was in amongst the crowd right there. So there you go. But guess what, folks? She actually produced a video. Now, we can't play the whole thing, of course, obviously, but there's a video on YouTube with her visiting Epic Universe. Let's check it out a little bit.
Standing behind that 12-year-old boy.
Orlando, Florida, at the grand opening of Universal Epic Universe. Please join us as we have a spectacular first day in the park.
There you go.
Good for her. Good for her.
If I bumped into her at Epic Universe, I would not know that was Brie Larson.
But maybe that's why she went ahead with that, because maybe her next role will have a wig on, Avengers Doomsday. And she's not so worried about, or it's all CGI hair anyways. That's what they're doing, which is
now,
obnoxious, but whatever.
I did like this comment from her right here, where she brought up the talk about the fountain.
It means so much. If you know, you know.
I do know Brie Larson, because Disney has been removing fountains all over their park. So there you go. I like that reference right there. Now,
so let me posit a theory here that maybe that this Brie Larson person was out, and she, former Indigo girl or whatever, was out there in Hollywood, and someone told her what she needed to rise in the Hollywood elite, and she said something that she thought would be safe to say, like, we don't need the opinions of more middle-aged white men on movies. And she thought, oh, I'll get praise in Hollywood. Culture is leaning this way. And the problem is that, she said the exact opposite thing that she needed to say, despite it being everything that Hollywood was telling her to say. So, she's been quiet for a very long time. It's not like she's Rachel Ziegler out there actively trying to tank a film. Also, her film was bad. It is a movie that is a mystery where they solve that mystery 7 times before they finally, you exasperatedly get to the end of the film and like, you showed me this in the first 10 minutes and in the first 20 minutes of the film. So please, can we move on? It was a horrible film, Captain Marvel. So I am trying to find where she's continued past that point. I'm not seeing it. I think, what Rachel Ziegler probably deserved, Brie Larson paved the path and probably didn't deserve as much hate as she got. I'm just going to say that.
And that's kind of my opinion right there. Like, the internet lambasted her for a long time over her comments. I get it. I understand they weren't the best comments, but I don't know. She's really leveled off, and I had to give her credit for that. Go ahead, Ron. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say I liked her in Community. She had a very small role, couple episodes of Community, and I liked that. And Scott Pilgrim, I thought she was good in, and that was about it. I didn't really love her in Jurassic Park. I'm just talking about her acting ability. But as far as a person, I would say she absolutely has leveled off. And it's interesting because we could be seeing the possible future of Rachel Ziegler in a decade, and see what happens when she hasn't kind of done any movies or anything for a decade.
I'm gonna push back on you guys because the cast of the Avengers in those interviews that they did with her very clearly despised her, which I mean, Don Cheadle, you don't get Don Cheadle and Chris Hemsworth hating you that much unless you are they looked like they wanted to run through the wall to get away. Every time she spoke, there was a visible shudder that went through Jeremy Renner, Don Cheadle, and Chris Hemsworth. That doesn't happen when you're putting on a front with I think she is 100% exactly what we saw then, and what we see now is the front, because they're like, oh, she's deeply unpopular. We have to do something now.
I'll throw one more thing in here. The Marvels was a horrible movie. Horrible. I don't even rate the movie. I rated I for incomplete. It was not a finished film, but they did repair on the Captain Marvel character. She actually had some charm to the way that she played it. It wasn't throughout. It was a mess of a film. But she did the work. She did the physical work of getting in shape for that role. And she was more charming in that film. So, if I'm not saying give her a chance, I'm not saying put a $300 million budget behind her, but I see this as a character that could be redeemed if given proper writers and a good director.
How about Brie Larson as Bride of Frankenstein? I'm looking at her right now, and I'm thinking I can see it. Brie Larson is Bride of Frankenstein. She's a monster.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Thank you very much.
There you go. Let's see. That's what Marvin was referring to right there. Oh, and that's better stunt double. Oh, well, look. I'll say this about Brie Larson. I didn't think that she was a genuine theme park band before. I thought that was all for publicity back in the day. Now I see her going to Epic Universe and touring and everything like that. I don't know. Seems like a theme park fan. She's one of us. There you go.
Maybe.
And maybe this is a new corner for her. I don't know. We'll see.
I think Jay met her, didn't he? Jay Drunk 3PO. Maybe we could ask him. Is she cool now?
I didn't say she's cool. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Wait and see.
Let's be very clear. Didn't say she was cool right there. Let's see here. We also have Chris Dickerson with the let's say $2. Brie, that's Justin Bieber. And also for another $2, this video, the best thing Brie Justin has done. Yeah. I would say so. She's genuinely looks like she's having a fun time, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome right there. Hopefully she turns a new leaf and and is, just if she does have opinions, she keeps them close to the vest. Let's say, but we will see.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.